Hey guys, welcome back to another I bought video. You guys know how this works. It's basically just a review of this. This is an Eco-Trick electric mountain bike. They call it a mountain bike. It looks more like a street bike to me. We'll have to just see how it looks, I guess. Now, don't let looks deceive you right now because this box is actually pretty long. Look at this thing. So this is an Eco-Trick. It's a 26-inch wheel. It's a 48-volt system, 13 AH battery, and it has a 1,000 watt motor on it. And this is the most average priced e-bike I could find on Amazon. Now there's like a $3,000 one that doesn't even have better specs than this one, but it just looks different. And there's definitely a lot lower end ones. I actually have a video about that if you want to see the cheapest Amazon e-bike. Let's take to the garage, see how it looks. All right, wow, okay. All right, this looks a lot cooler than, oh. All right, well, we gotta get this front tire put on and the seat put on and the charger and other odds and ends in here, I am sure. Dude, this actually feels nice. All right, so there you guys have it. There's the bike almost assembled. I got one more pedal to put on. This is what came in that little box right there, the accessory bag. So we got a charger, and the display, oddly enough, actually came separately. I mean, I can imagine why. I mean, you wouldn't want it to get smashed in the box or anything, but you got to install that. You just plug this in. I already saw a connection on the handlebar for it. A couple Allen wrenches, the bell, some reflectors, and the pedals, which I'm gonna put the last one on right now. Definitely not light, but it's not super heavy. Okay, so I was wondering why the wires weren't reaching for the handlebars to go straight. It's because I put this on backwards. Let me, okay, there we go. That makes a lot more sense. All right, let's try putting the key in and see what it does. Now these ones are like those swivel keys. I actually kind of like them. All right, you guys can see that is on. It says the battery is already full. Okay. I think that the pedal assist are actually actually different levels for the speed as well. My electric bikes, pedal assist is just for like how fast you pedal, how much it assists you, but you can go full throttle at any pedal assist. I think this one, let's go to pedal assist 5. It changed the dash, it says power. Yep. Okay, very cool. Full throttle. Now we're coasting. Now I'm pulling the front brake. And you guys see it slows down significantly faster. I wonder if that's regen or if it's just the brakes are connected. Who knows? And it says it's already full, so it probably came pretty full from the factory. And so I'm just gonna plug it in, top it off, and then, man, we're gonna take it on the first ride and the range test, the top speed, and all that good stuff. Again, this is a 1,000 watt motor, which is actually pretty fat. I mean, it's skinny, but it's pretty fat. You definitely know it's electric when you take a look at it. Battery pack right here is a 13 AH, which should go quite a good ways for this setup. And this bike was $1,129, I think. I'll just throw it up right here, what I paid for it. So it's definitely an average price. It's definitely not cheap, but I think for what you get, as long as it tests well and the specs are as claimed, this definitely, I think, would be worth the money if you're looking to commute on it. So let's plug it in and then take it on a ride. Alright guys, so it's the next day. I aired up the tires and this thing has a full charge on it. I'm gonna turn it on right now, just get a feel for it around the neighborhood, see if, you know, see how quick it is, that kind of thing. So let's take it out. Alright, so the top speed that I'm getting right here is 20.8, 20.9 miles per hour, so I'll just call it 21. It feels like it is electronically limiting it, so I wonder if there is a way, like the electric bikes, they sent me a way to actually turn off the electronic limiter for it. So I'm wondering if you could do that on this bike as well. I really do like the front suspension as well. It's way smoother than the electric bike suspensions. So I'm excited. So let's take it out for the range test and just get to it. All right, boys, we made it 8 miles so far, and you guys can see here. Well, currently it's sitting at 1 bar of 5 bars down. I will say when I'm actually riding it, the voltage sag drops it another bar down. So we're probably about 30% down on the battery. I will say it's more probably around 8 miles than 7. I'll have to calculate and see if this is actually correct or not. I will be crunching the numbers after we get home, of course, but very, very smooth ride. I will say right now, I am thoroughly impressed with this electric bike. It's a very smooth ride. The suspension does great. The back end, I will say, is a little bit more clunky because it is a hardtail, and when you go over huge bumps, you can hear the battery kind of just like rattle for just a second. Not anything crazy, and definitely smoother than the electric bikes that we have at home that we're used to. So I'm just gonna continue on. I mean, the test does not stop until this thing is dead. I do need to do, coming to think of it, I need to do a top speed test as well. I have my GPS. It should be fairly accurate though. It's clearly software limited at 20 miles per hour because that is what's legal. So I can feel it kind of top end kind of cut out right when it hits 20. But anyway, I do need to message the seller, see if I can actually turn off the limiter, because I know on the electric bikes that we have, I emailed the guy and he told me exactly how to turn off the limiter. Now it hits more around 22, 23 miles per hour on the top end. So hopefully this actually has a higher top speed as well. Hopefully I can get it boosted even more. I will say right now, this thing has generated a lot of looks and a lot of people kind of checking it out on the trail that I've been riding, and overall just a sweet ride. I was actually, there was a motorcyclist that because the trail that I took basically goes right next to the road, and there's a motorcyclist that was going stoplight to stoplight and everything, and I went probably a solid 3 or 4 miles with him. He was getting stopped at stoplights, and I mean, we kept up with each other, which is crazy because, you know, I'm going 20 miles per hour, but in the city, that's really all you need. It really is all you need. And I got here in about, I'd say 22 minutes, 23 minutes, which is almost what it takes me to do it in a car. This has definitely thoroughly impressed me, but let's continue on. Look who we found, guys. It's Jinjimoto. Oh, hi. How about that? If you don't mind, dude, if you want to film me really quick, I'm gonna get that speedometer app up and we'll just hit the top speed right now. Okay. My charge point card, by the way.
Nice.
Just came today, right before I left.
Now you can charge your car.
I can charge my car now.
For free.
There we go. Let's make sure it's tracking here. Yep, it's tracking. And let's hit that top speed.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Come on, boy. Well, it electronically limits it, so I mean, there was really no point in pedaling all fast. I think the fastest part was actually me pedaling. All right, let's see what it says. Max speed was 20.6 miles per hour,
Yeah.
so.
Try it again without pedaling. Let's see what happens.
Without pedaling, yeah, let's definitely. No pedaling. You can definitely feel the electronic limiter kick in. It's just like an instant cut in power. All right, let's see what we got. 20.4. I think that was the same, 20.4. Yeah.
Not too bad.
At least it's over 20. If it like limited at 19, I'd be like, come on, not even 20. Hopefully, dude, we'll have to see if we can get that limiter turned off. I'll have to message the seller and see if you can tell me the little secret ways to make it a little faster. That'd be nice.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, exactly. A, B, start.
And 2 rings of the bell. I am an intersection out, still sitting. As it sits at about 1 bar down. But as I give it throttle, it'll jump 2 bars down or so, or maybe even 3 bars down sometimes. So let's give it a shot and see how it does. I will say this thing is extremely fun to ride. It's a great smooth ride. Definitely not bad at all. Okay, we made it back and we have 17 miles on the odometer. You guys can see it's sitting at 3 of 5 bars. So tomorrow I think I'll come out and finish draining this battery, deplete it 100%, see how many miles we have left on it. I will say I have been riding this literally full throttle the whole time. Not even basically full throttle, it's literally been full throttle the entire 17 miles it's gone so far. And so far I have been absolutely loving it. It is an awesome bike. All right guys, we're back out to completely drain this battery. Young Swag is coming with me actually on her electric bike. So we'll see how they handle. It just cut out and we are currently headed down the trail. This says 21 miles on the odometer. The software of this I really appreciate because most e-bikes and stuff just cut out and then you have no throttle after that. You have to wait, turn the key on and off and everything. This one was actually, it just kept boosting you as much as it could. And I think it'll keep boosting you until it's completely empty. Unlike most e-bikes that when the voltage sag hits, it kind of just cuts off the bike completely. So we're gonna turn around. It says 21 miles on it. Right now it seems fairly accurate, but I will definitely crunch numbers when we're home and see what the actual range was. Again, full throttle the entire way, no pedaling. And I mean, you could get a lot more if you were also pedaling and it was just pedal assist, but I was just going full throttle and seeing how much it could get us. So let's head back home and crunch those numbers. Well, I've been pedaling it for the last like 4 or 5 miles or so, and it's still actually kicking. You can see that the battery is still trying to hold on, and it's still boosting me as much as it can, getting slower and slower, but I technically haven't pedaled just on my own this entire time. The bike is just still assisting, even though it's very depleted. I can kind of feel the electricity building back up to give me another push, and then it gives me a push, and then it stops for a second, builds up a little bit, and then gives me another push. Really nice bike though. I am really liking this thing. All right guys, so we made it back home, lots of pedaling later. And looks like it auto turned off just now as I was doing this. You guys can see there, it says 25 miles. Battery is sitting at 1 bar, but when you throttle it, it is dead. But overall though, this is a really nice bike. I mean, even pedaling home for the last 4 miles, 4.5 or 5 miles or so, it was still boosting me as much as it could. Like I never really pedaled like just manually. It always was assisting me to some degree. Still a little bit tired when I got home just from the pedaling, but at least I got to experience it as more of just a bike as well, because if your battery dies and you're out and about, like what are you gonna do, right? And as a bike, it functions pretty well. I know it's nothing like super crazy, and I've never had like a super expensive just road bike or anything. I mean, just for normal pedaling, getting to where you're going, it does a decent job. As far as electronics go, I mean, just full throttle, like it's super smooth bike. Oh yeah, the seller actually did tell me how to turn off the speed limiter. So let's definitely try that. He didn't tell me how to do it, but I remember how to do it from the electric bikes, and it looks like it's the exact same software. So I'm just gonna turn it on here, just like that, and then hold down the up and down arrow buttons together. Yep, and then, so he wants me to change P7. Yep, menu button is the one you push. Change that to 45, just like that. And he said that is how to turn off the limiter. I'm not sure how to initiate. Let's just try turning the bike off with the settings saved. Then I'll turn the key off as well. Reset the system. Key on. Bike on. I think it won't have done it. Let me. 45, perfect. Looks like the limiter is off. Perfect, let's take it out and see what the top speed is now. And I got the speedometer app open right now. The bike is sitting at 3 of 5 bars currently. I mean, I plugged it in when we got home. It's probably been a couple hours maybe on a charge. I think I only got up to like 21. I could feel it wasn't electronically limited though. 22.1 miles per hour. Max speed is 22.1. That's about what the electric bikes get as well with it unlocked. 22.1, not too bad. And at least you can turn it off. The seller answered like an hour after I messaged him. forgot to mention it also has a removable battery pack. You can remove it, and they actually do sell replacement battery packs and whatnot, so that's nice. Also has a functioning brake light, so if you pull the brake. So ride quality is, I would give it probably a 7 out of 10, just because the back end is pretty clunky and the seat that it comes with is extremely uncomfortable. I know I haven't really sat on bike seats like super long times and stuff, so maybe I'm just like more sensitive to it, but it was not fun to ride on that thing for too long, and I wasn't even on the bike for that long of a time. That's a small complaint. Again, that's probably cost cutting on their part, just because they want to sell it at a decent price and not bling it out too much, because you know, people just won't buy a too expensive bike even if it comes with nice stuff. So probably cost cutting there. And so just get yourself a nice padded seat if that's a problem. The front suspension though is amazing. It's awesome. And you guys can actually adjust the preload, how springy or stiff it is yourself if you want. But the setting it came with was definitely fine for me. Soft enough for the bumps, but definitely hard enough to feel what you're going over. That's pretty much it. The software is basically the exact same as the electric bike. It just has the menu and 2 buttons here. And then the display is very similar to the electric bike as well. As far as this one, it feels more sporty. The electric bike, if you put it in like football terms, like this is like a lineman, this is like a running back. It's a lot lighter on its wheels, easier to turn and more maneuverable, but this definitely feels a lot more planted, and you're just like straight line and it will go. This one definitely is a little bit more agile and everything, a lot lighter as well. So all right guys, so that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this review video on this bike. I definitely recommend this bike. The electric bike was $899 when I bought it several months back. I mean, it might have even been a year at this point. It's been a while since then, yeah. But it was like $900 for the electric bike. It doesn't have front suspension, doesn't have some of the stuff this one does. And I definitely have no complaints as far as battery life and stuff on this one. If you are going full throttle, all out, and it starts to get into the 1 bar, 2 bar range, I mean, maybe just start pedaling a little bit, and that'll get you probably another 30 miles pedaling and assisting. So definitely for the price and the performance you get for this thing, no complaints at all. If you're in the market for a commuter bicycle like this, and you can just like throttle and go, basically a little motorcycle kind of thing, I mean, this will do the trick for $1,200 or so is what I paid shipped to my door. And as far as just being a bike, if you don't even use the battery at all, you can definitely pedal this thing around, no problem. It'll get you to where you want to go. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.